Alright, how you guys doing? Shalom. I was thinking what I'm gonna come out with today, but I have to go back to Utah, to Deuteronomy, to Numbers, to the Exodus, to give a shout out to Lex Will for bringing out the truth. I want to give a shout out to the Most High, higher. So today you're gonna need King James Holy Bible. Alright, I'm gonna bring out some information on the internet. I'm gonna show you different things, and hope you guys like it. But this is for educational purposes. Don't believe everything I say. Take it upon yourself to investigate it further, so you can understand. It's already, we're tired already of just repeating what people say. We have to get the knowledge for ourselves. Alright. So we're gonna go right into Numbers. Alright, we're back. We're back at Numbers 33 and 1. So it says, "These are the journeys of the children of Israel, which went forth out of the land of Egypt with their armies under the hand of Moses and Aaron." If you didn't know, Moses and Aaron led us out of Egypt. "And Moses wrote their goings out according to their journeys by the commandment of the Lord. And these are their journeys according to the goings out." So if y'all didn't know, I mean, this where we went is in the Bible. I mean, I knew when I grew up. Let me put that. If y'all didn't know, I know when I grew up, my family is spiritual, both my mom and my dad. So, but I was around my mom more, so they was real spiritual. And when you ask them about the Exodus, they just you left Egypt and you went around the river for 40 years because he was mad at you. And I don't know, it just didn't sit right. So I don't know. I was always interested, but I drifted away. I went through my shit, so pardon my language, and so it didn't make sense. But it's right here, and as I read it, it doesn't seem like we went around. We just walked around a river. I mean, if you look in here, let's just start off with here, like, and they departed from Ramses in the first month. They departed from Ramses in the first month. If you know anything, you know that Ramses referring to Kadesh, the Battle of Kadesh. So you already know that there's some validity to the Bible. So, I mean, what you really need to do is take it upon yourself to investigate the different parts of the Bible, and you'll understand it better. So, as we come down here, it says that we departed. Here we go. "And the children of Israel." You can look this up for yourself, man. If you don't got your Bible out, then what are you even really here for? "And the children of Israel removed from Ramses and pitched in Sukkah. And they departed in Sukkah and pitched in Etham, which is in the edge of the wilderness." There we go. That's better. "And they removed from Etham and turned again to Pi-hahiroth, which is before Baal-zephon. And they pitched before Migdal. And they departed from before Pi-hahiroth and passed through the midst of the sea in the wilderness." So, through a 3-day journey in the wilderness of Etham. So this is like a whole vast area that they went across. I mean, they're not just going around in a little circle right next to Egypt. That's insane. That's insane. That's insanity. If you even know what the definition, do I have to look up the definition of insanity? Because I will. You know I will. All right, so that's besides the point. But that my point there was to say that if you keep going down and down and down, there's different places, and we keep going. The sea, the wilderness of sin, which we know today is the Chinese, China, Sinna, right? So you keep going. I mean, there's another page. But see, this is what I want to get at. When we get to Numbers 33 and 6, and they removed from Ezion Geber and pitched in the wilderness of Zin, which is in Kadesh. All right, sorry for the shakiness. All right, so I said that, and they removed from Ezion Geber and pitched in the wilderness of Zin, which is in Kadesh. All right, so what we're trying to say is the wilderness of Zin, or what I'm trying to say is the wilderness of Zin is what we call Zion Canyon or Zion National Park. Alright, my bad, they attacked my shit. I had to restart it. So we're at 36, Numbers 33 and 36, and they removed from Ezion Geber and pitched in the wilderness of Zin, which is in Kadesh. So I'm trying to say that the wilderness of Zin is today Zion National Park. Remember now, the borders aren't exactly what we are having today. Borders could have been a little different, but we know that this area is the place in the Bible, the wilderness of Zin. All right, you can look all this up yourself. Utah's first national park. It's a unique park, and you'll find out. The more you get involved in this research, and you'll find out how unique this place is and how unique America is. You'll see it. So if we go into this video, we're going to go into this video. You can look it up yourself. It's called NWA EP 10 Zion National Park Part 8. All right, broadband TV travel. So here we go. Let's start off from 59 seconds, and we'll just get a little clip to show you things in the national park and people that were living there.
Discover nature and appreciate her beauty.
And the Sazi
along the ridges of the canyon walls.
Now I want you to see that they refer to the Anasazi. Now I have some up here that shows the Anasazi, and the UN is labeled as the first people, and we'll just recognize under the Land Department and Land Department, Bureau Department, Land Resources. So it's legit, Anasazi. When they're talking about the Anasazi, they're referring to you. Yeah, children of Israel, Anasazi. Right. That's what we'll look at.
are the ruins of these people who call this area home. The Anasazi Indians were known as the Cliff Dwellers. Their homes were made of mud and were built against the canyon walls. Their disappearance from the area is still unknown today. The location of Zion is remote, making it inaccessible for a long time.
Look, the three patriarchs,
Between 1870 and 1880,
Abraham, Isaac, and
the
Jacob.
majesty of Zion was discovered during several federal surveys. In 1908, a land survey caught the attention of the Department of the Interior. They were so impressed with the area that they suggested it be preserved for all to enjoy. The president agreed, and in 1909, President Taft established the area as Makantuweep National Monument. In 1918, the unpopular name Makantuweep.
All right, let's move it on. Makantuweep just means it's pronounced Mulan to Weep. Weep means canyon. If you look at two, that means your or you. And Mulan sounds like melanin to me, so your melanated people's canyon. I mean, a linguistic might have to look into that. I'm just saying, you know. But watch this. Zion National Park, a sanctuary to all. This is your land right
Zion
here.
is
Your
Utah's
home.
oldest and most popular national park,
Oldest,
hosting almost 3
popular.
million visitors a year. These numerous guests, many from outside the United States, come to experience the vibrant colors and breathtaking sceneries contained in the desert oasis of Zion. Zion offers many spectacular hikes and scenic drives. Among the favorites are the Narrows, where visitors get to stomp through water for hours while taking in the spectacular views. At times, the slot canyons become so tight, hikers
That
can
looks
almost
like
touch both
Heaps
walls
Canyon.
at the same time.
Heaps Canyon,
Angel's
Mount
Landing
Abraham,
is a breathtaking
Aubrey.
hike up a narrow trail and across a rock fin. The last half mile of the hike has 1,500-foot cliffs on both
Look
sides.
at all these people
The subway
traveling
requires a
the
full
route
day's
your
journey
people
to reach
travel.
a picturesque slot canyon. The subway receives its
With all this
name from the rounded rock
mysterious
overhangs that were carved
wonders
by water and encompass parts of the
in
trail.
this beautiful
These eroded
place.
rock walls create the appearance of an underground subway tunnel that is so perfect it could have been cut by a machine. The 1.1-mile-long Carmel Tunnel that connects the northern and southern parts of the park is a favorite drive among tourists. It was the longest tunnel ever
Let's
constructed
move
at
forward
its
because they don't
completion
want to
in
make this video too
1930.
long.
The Kolob Arch is the second longest natural arch in the world. The ancient Pueblo people, known as the Anasazi, a name given to them by the Navajo, meaning
Anasazi.
enemy, emerged in
They
the
say it means
southwest United
enemy,
States
that's
around
crap.
300 BC. Archaeological evidence shows that the Anasazi were quite sophisticated. They cultivated maize, beans, and squash, while supplementing their diet with
Now who
protein
did that?
sources through hunting.
Who cultivated
They lived
maize,
in
beans, and
complex
squash?
and carefully crafted structures
Think
such
about
as
it.
pit houses, pueblos, and cliff dwellings. By 1300 AD, the Anasazi had mysteriously
ancient
disappeared.
dwelling.
There's a transition from Anasazi, which has existed maybe 1,000 years before that, to Fremont, which is more pit houses.
Stories explaining their disappearance have been the topic of much speculation, including claims that they traveled south and became the mighty Aztec people of
became the
Mexico,
Aztecs.
to more believable theories
That's
that they
a topic for
assimilated
another
into
story,
modern-day
another
Pueblo
time.
tribes.
It's difficult to know whether one group replaces the other or intermixes and assimilates with the other.
The Fremont people lived throughout
Okay,
Utah
now
and
this
in
is
parts of
interesting.
Colorado, Idaho,
The reason why I want you to see
and
this,
Nevada. Arriving later than the
look right here, it says Sevier Fremont, 750 to 1300 AD, and it says Parowan Fremont, 900 to 1300 AD. All right, you can go look this up yourself. But if you come over here, it's interesting. That's all I can say. If you look over here, Sevier, Utah. If you take out the V, it's the EV is Sierra. Wait, hold up. The reason why I say that is because if you look over here, I know the lighting sucks, but if you see, it says Paran, from Seir unto them, he shine forth from Mount Paran. So it just is real fishy how they call it Parwan. If you just remove the ROW, it's if you remove the OW, it's Paran. And Seir, if you remove the V and the E, is Seir. We understand if you look at Horace Butler, you'll understand that how they changed certain or added certain letters, or maybe changed the first letter. I mean, you can see this today if you look it up. A lot of linguistics have videos on this that you can check it out. If you want to look at somebody, look at Horace Butler. These people can help you. Lex Will is good at showing you some of these things. But that's not the point. That's not even what I'm trying to get at. That's good. That's all dandy. We out of here. Okay, so if we come down here, go back to where we was, Numbers. And they removed from the Ezyon Geber and pitched in the wilderness of Zin, which is in Kadesh. So, which is in Kadesh. So is there a second Egypt? Is there a second Kadesh? And is the second Kadesh in or near the wilderness of Zin? I don't know, but if you look at this right here, and there's much information to show you. This guy right here is G. N. Kincaid. And this man is like this man is like Indiana Jones. He found all of this evidence, and even to today, the Smithsonian, who he worked for, claims that he never worked there. But you can find news agencies, city news, state news, talking about him, artifacts, talking about these articles, talking about him. So he's out there. You just gotta look. All right, but this shows ancient Egyptians in the Grand Canyon. Look at this, made out of gold. This is a gold artifact for the Egyptian king named Khan, was found in the Egyptian tunnel city in the Grand Canyon and was named Kincaid's Cave. So they named this after this man, Kincaid. And yet today they want to hide this. It's being protected by the FBI. They don't want to claim this person. So you have to understand, red flags have to be shown at that point, and you have to take it upon yourself to investigate. You know what I mean? If you come down here, I mean, it just gets juicy. Look at this. This artifact was from the Kincaid's Tunnel. Even though the many large other smaller images were found in the tunnel in the Grand Canyon, this artifact was an important discovery for the Smithsonian archaeologists. It is an artifact is for King Akhenaten and Queen Nefertiti. Their ancestors and children's name are on the artifact. The Egyptian name of Zoroaster or Joseph is one of their ancestors. It is recorded that Akhenaten restored the Semitic religion of Amun in Egypt and Saqqara, Egypt. Akhenaten was the recorded ruler in Egypt from 1353 to 1336 BC. His son Teperin was also an Egyptian ruler in the Grand Canyon and was recorded as the king at Saqqara in Egypt also. So you know, this is deep, and this information is here. If you look right here, this right here is in the Smithsonian, and they didn't get this from Egypt. They got this from your backyard in Arizona, in Utah, in Ohio, all through. They got artifacts all over in Illinois, Michigan, all over the place, man. Mississippi. This is not just one place. But this is the place we are talking about today because we are talking about the Exodus. All right, let's move on. All right, so we go. There's much more interesting stuff on this. So you can go look it up yourself. It's real easy to find. You can go take another look into it for yourself. All right, so if we go on into Numbers 44, they go, and they departed. I'm just going to read it. And they departed from Obah and pitched in Abarim in the border of Moab. So if you look up Abarim, it means for a meaning of the name Abarim, Nobse Study Bible Nameless reads ruins of the Abarim. Jones Dictionary of Old Testament proper names has for Abarim ruinous heaps of Abarim, meaning Abraham. So ruinous heaps of Abraham. That's cool. So it's saying that we was in a place called ruinous heaps of Abraham. All right. So, and it says in the border of Moab. All right. Oh, that's cool. So if we look over here, we find Heaps Canyon. Where? In Zion National Park, which would be where? In Zen Wilderness. So we still in the same place. We didn't go nowhere. I mean, we trying to bring it out. Here it is. And if you look down here, you can look at this. This guy has a video on YouTube showing Zion National Park Heaps Canyon, which is the definition of Abarim. Heaps Canyon in Mount Abraham. So that's where they at right now. They walking in your ancestors' home. And I mean, everybody should know. I mean, this is history. They should know where these places are, who we are, what happened, who you are. You should find out who you are. You know what I mean? No this against any other people. You know, we have been asleep, and we must rise to who we truly are. And you know, and the information will help us. So here we go. So let's stop that. That's cool. So it says in the border of Moab, but they go, oh, Moab is in China or Asia. No. If you look over here, it says Moab, Utah. And it says Moab is a city in the Grand County in the eastern Utah in the western United States. All right? So you got to look beyond some of this stuff because they'll tell you, oh, we named it in this time. But if you look into Indian culture, these names were here prior. These names are not European names. You know, these names were here already, and they want to take ownership of naming, or you know what I mean, so that you won't know who you are, or that you named this place. So this place pertains to you. So I mean, wake up, guys. We live in the land of Nod. Yo, it's time to wake up for real though. So you know what I mean? Because Moab attracts a large number of tourists every year, mostly visitors to the nearby Arches and Canyonlands National Parks. The town is a popular base for bikers. You know what I mean? And they just living it up over here, and your ancestors is sleeping under the soil, waiting for you to wake up. So let's get with it, people. Let's get with it. So let's look at this video for a second. So this is Moab, Utah hiking trip. Look at that. They just living it up. This is what you were writing about in the Bible. It's almost like they knew that they were gonna hide this from you. You know? And that you needed to know. So they put these names. You know, they say, oh well, why did they leave the names? Well, you know about Freemasons. You know about these secret organizations. They want their children to know what the real names are. You know? So they leave some stuff. They leave evidence so that their kids know, because they want them to know. But they don't want us to know. They don't care for us to know. You know? I mean, look at this. Just living it up. So I mean, it's all right there. Moab, Utah. We are. You ask somebody, say, "Oh, do you know the Moab in America?" They go, "No. What are you talking about?" Yeah. No, that's the Mojave Desert. They go like that. But if you talk to anybody that lives in the area, they understand that, yeah, this is Moab. See, that's the thing, man. That's how dumbed down we've been. Like, we don't understand these things. Like, if it's not in our neighborhood, then we don't understand. You know, and that's what it is. So let's end this one. You know. All right. All right. So they go.